Ladies, welcome to this discussion, this training, whatever you want to call it. The name is not important. The important part is the information that you are about to get over the next 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, so why are you here? I'm going to share with you the 5-step process to get back in touch with that sexy, empowered, and confident woman you used to be before life, kids, and COVID happened. Okay, so who is this for? Hardworking females and moms who have found yourself in one or more of the below situations. Your body just doesn't react the way that it used to when you were younger. Your life revolves around making everyone else around you happy at the expense of your own happiness. You have gradually been letting your physical and psychological state slide, and now it has reached a point that it is actually a problem. Even though your life revolves around keeping your kids happy, you're not setting a good example for them to lead their own healthy lives one day. That's a massively important one. You're also out of breath and can't keep up when trying to do any physical playtime or activity with your kids, which cuts this quality of time very short. Your meals consist of discarded pizza crusts, soggy chicken nuggets, Cheetos that you find at the bottom of your purse, Chick-fil-A, Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, and dare I mention some of the others. Exercise is a luxury that you think of daily, but you never actually get to it, or you can't actually stick to anything long enough to establish a routine or to gauge if what you're actually trying is working for you or not. This is also for you if you are tired, or if you've tried, Weight Watchers, Beachbody, Noom, Atkins Paleo, Keto Freakingenic Diet, all of those get fit or lose weight quick sorts of schemes that are very cheap and nasty that you stick to again for 3 to 4 weeks, but you can never get sustained results from them. And lastly, this is also for you if COVID has robbed you of whatever balance, progress, or efforts that you were able to make in your previous busy lifestyle. To continue, this is still for you if you're tired all the time, you have food choice anxiety, you suffer from limiting self-beliefs, you're constantly running on autopilot after the needs of everyone around you, you lack self-confidence, you hate what you see in the mirror, your sex life is not great, your emotional state is borderline depressive, if not already there. Heart disease, diabetes, and other health conditions are an actual reality for you right now. To continue, this is for you if you are frustrated because you want to make the change, but with everything you have going on right now, you just don't actually have the time to find something that will work for you and for your individual life. You also need a solid plan that works around your busy family and work life. You need a plan that also works in your food and your exercise preferences, which is so important. You want to also live the life of the empowered woman you know that you can be or that you used to be. You are ready to look and feel sexy again. You also realize that being a mom doesn't mean killing yourself to give others life. That is such an important one. I cannot stress that enough. This is also for you if you are ready to take back control and do whatever it takes to find that perfect balance in being a healthy mom or woman that your kids can look up to in every single way. This is not for you if you're looking for the next quick fix or diet fad. You're in the wrong place if that's what you're looking for. You're also in the wrong place if you actually enjoy feeling like a prisoner to your diet, or if you don't actually see the value in looking after your own health. If you're happy being stuck and okay with your health deteriorating, you're also in the wrong place. If you feel that you're not worth the necessary time and investment, this is also not for you. If you are 100% happy with your physical, mental, and emotional state right now, and you have everything under control, despite the craziness of being a busy mother or woman, then you're good. You don't need to be here. We don't need to help you. If you are rapidly moving towards your physical goals and confident that everything you are doing is 100% sustainable, then you're also in the wrong place. If you are 100% confident that 100% of your efforts are actually moving you towards your goals, then you also don't need to be here. If you already have a health coach that treats you as the unique individual that you are, and you have the feeling that you are 100% supported in everything that you are doing right now and you are cared for, then that's great for you. I don't want to derail you off of anything that is working for you right now. If you already have your nutrition and training program that is 100% designed around you, and I'm not talking about a copy and paste program, I'm talking about a 100% custom tailor-made program to you. If you already have one of those right now, please continue following that, because that is ultimately what this is all about. If you already feel sexy and empowered and confident, then you also don't need to be here. Ladies, if you're still here with me, then know that you are in the right place, and I can definitely help you. So let's get into the fun bit. Now, what I want you to do is imagine the following. If it helps you, close your eyes and try and imagine what I'm about to say to you in the first person view. So this is actually you now that I'm going to be talking about. Your kids are inspired by you. You have taught them what it means to have a positive body image. You no longer have to cut playtime short with them because you're out of breath. You can start wearing your favorite clothes again, the ones that you haven't been able to fit in for the past few years. You look in the mirror and you actually like what you see, and you start falling in love with that person you see again. Developing heart disease or diabetes is no longer a concern for you. You are free from food choice anxiety and free from the guilt of enjoying food. There is no more extreme calorie restrictions or balanced dieting. You feel sexy naked again. Your sex life is healthy again, and you can actually tell that your partner finds you just as sexy as the first day he met you. And lastly, your business or work career is thriving because of your positive energy, focus, and mental clarity. Continue imagining this. Now, in terms of your nutrition and your training, you actually have a detailed plan so that you don't need to think about what to eat or how to work out. You know that every single effort that you're putting in towards achieving your goals is actually moving you towards them. You have an accountability partner to check in with you and keep you motivated. And you have the support of a coach who knows what it's like to navigate the challenges of a busy life like you are going through right now. Imagine going to bed each night knowing that you love your life, that you're treating yourself with the love and respect that you actually deserve. You're a great example to your kids. You're a top performer at work, and you're living to your full potential and being your best self with absolutely no regrets. Now, what I'm going to do next is remind you of what you're currently dealing with again. You're busy, you go shopping, and you're constantly stressed about what foods you should be buying. Every time it's mealtime, you are too rushed or busy to actually think about or know what you should be eating to move you towards your goals or just to keep healthy. Everything and everybody gets your attention, and honestly, there's just not enough time or attention span to look after yourself. And when the kids and the family are eventually sleeping or looked after, all you want to do is just kick up your feet and relax. Unfortunately though, you still don't feel good about the way that you look. Your confidence is rock bottom. You hide behind other people or things to avoid pictures being taken of you. And simply put, you are just not happy. Though, and there is good news. Now, as overwhelming as your problems may seem, there is a simple, methodical program to get yourself onto the right track to feeling like the confident and empowered woman you used to be. None of the problems you think you have are the actual real issues. The real big problem here is not doing or following a proper plan or applying the right mindset. And this is something we are going to go into in the 5-step process here in just a bit. So what now? There are a few very important things that I want you to understand here. You are where you are right now, and that is okay. It is what it is for now. There is no need for guilt, stress, or anxiety. Very importantly is you need to note that you do deserve better, and you absolutely can have better. You need to give yourself permission because you do deserve to be happy. I want to take you back to this moment. So when I asked you to imagine just how great your life could be, I'm pretty sure that many of you would have started telling yourselves all the many reasons why you couldn't have that life, why you didn't deserve that life, and why it wasn't possible for you. Whereas I want to tell you to stop and change your mindset, I know that it isn't that easy. So in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to give you an actionable 5-step plan that you can immediately start implementing to experience more health and happiness amidst the changing routines and chaos of motherhood and being a busy woman. I'm going to give you the 5-step process to get back in touch with that sexy, empowered, and confident woman you used to be before life, kids, and COVID happened. So what makes this discussion different from everything else that you've heard of out there in the market? Quite honestly, I'm just a firm believer in listening to people who have already made a success of what you are trying to achieve. And we have helped transform hundreds of women's lives that are in your exact position. This discussion is about delivering meaningful, helpful content that you can actually implement after what we have discussed. And this is going to revolutionize the way that you look at health and fitness and your life in its entirety. At the end of this discussion, if you feel that the steps in this process are just too much for you to think about and you would like the help to implement them, or you need a support system, then I will extend an invitation to you to book a free discovery strategy call with me, where I can take you through all the ins and the outs of our approach and exactly how it is that we can support you in achieving your goals. But if not, that's totally fine. I'm still going to give you all the information here for you to implement this process on your own. But before we get into all the details, I've been extremely rude and I haven't actually introduced myself. So I'm Ashton Pienaar, and I have a passion for helping people reach their full potential. I personally hate to struggle, and if I set my mind to something, I want to make sure that 100% of my efforts are actually moving me towards my goals. I have tried and followed every single diet and workout discipline out there. I've lived the boring, routine, mundane lifestyle of the bodybuilder, but more recently, I found the balance between achieving and sustaining my results while still enjoying my adventurous lifestyle. My experience and qualifications have allowed me to position myself as an authority in the industry, but more importantly, they have allowed me to inspire the loyalty and commitment of a team of specialists that believe in my vision and share the passion I do for helping people. I've personally gone through transformations in my own life and have made huge progress towards the person I want to be. And I believe that the loop of learning is only complete once you can share that knowledge with others. Knowledge and experience are far more powerful and impactful when they are shared with others. Now I want to bring you back to the goals that you want to achieve. So what do you feel you need to actually reach your goals? And I want you to think about this because I'm trying to stir up some thought in your mind before we go ahead into these steps. So what do you feel that you actually need to reach your goals? What would be the biggest game changer for you? And if you could have anything or anybody in your corner, what would bring you the success that you want in your life right now? Now, what I want to do is get back into you guys, and I want to discuss why it actually is that you are stuck without a solid solution. Now, the fitness industry is saturated with programs, apps, and coaches that are all trying to make as much money as possible by doing very, very little. It's the times of automations, apps, and algorithms where human interaction is at a minimum and generic cookie cutter programs designed for the masses are prevalent. This means that you are most certainly not getting the one-on-one attention, motivation, and accountability that you actually need to convert your efforts to long-term results. There's a bunch of programs out there that are saturating the market, and it's all about quantity over quality. Now, you might find coaches that are offering one-on-one interaction and they tell you that they will give you a custom and bespoke program, but in actual fact, they have one or two baseline eating plans, one for a male and one for a female, and they go and copy and paste that same plan into all 50 of their different clients' lives without paying much attention to you as an individual. Now, in the early stages, that's perfectly fine. In the first 1 week to 4 weeks, you'll stick to this plan because your motivation and your determination is really, really high, that you'll basically do whatever it takes to reach your goals. But the problem comes in 6 to 8 weeks down the line when your motivation and determination are not so high anymore. And this is when you start to realize just how difficult it is to stick to a plan that was not designed 100% for you, taking into consideration your preferences and your lifestyle. The only way to achieve success in your busy lifestyles is to come up with a sustainable solution. And the only way to come up with a sustainable solution is to take an approach that is based around your preferences, your body, and your lifestyle. Because if it's enjoyable for you to follow and it's convenient enough for you to stick to, and it 100% gets you to your results, then the chances of you sticking to it longer term are that much better. The last approach that coaches take, and I call this the lazy approach, is you'll get a bunch of people out there that will just work out your macros for you at the beginning, and they leave it up to you to fulfill those numbers with whatever foods you choose throughout the day. Now, you've still got to wake up every single morning and decide what you're going to eat in the day, or you're running around the grocery store or throughout your day with a calorie scanner, or you're checking the backs of packages on a constant basis to try and make sure that you're sticking within your numbers. There's a lot of guesswork in this approach because you're still guessing if you're hitting your right protein numbers or your carb numbers or your healthy fat numbers. And basically it's just a lot of stress for you to wake up and not have an actual plan for you to get to your goals. And it adds too much stress into your life, and ultimately you're just going to end up quitting. So those are basically the three approaches that I'm seeing out there in the market, and through my interactions with my current clients, this is a lot of the feedback that we're getting with the stuff that they're trying that is just not working for them. Now this brings me into the new approach and what you should be looking for out there in the market. And some important things for you to understand is that the best possible plan for you is one that is designed specifically for you. No copy and paste, no, oh, it worked for Mary, it must work for me, it worked for Susan, it must work for me. Mary and Susan live very different lives to you, and therefore the stuff that they follow might not make sense to you or your lifestyle. The other thing is to do it right the first time and make sure that you are getting the value that you need. There is a bunch of guesswork in these copy and paste programs that you pay a small amount of money, $50 here, $100 there, and you're like, okay, this is the next best thing. 2 weeks down the line, you're already onto the next plan because a week into this one, you realize that it just wasn't right for you. So there's a lot of guesswork. Rather do your research, speak to people before you give them your money, and make sure that this approach is aligned with your lifestyle and with the goals that you want to achieve. This is going to prevent time wasting and money wasting. Now, I want you to imagine that someone actually spent some time getting to know you first. They get to know your lifestyle as well as your body, and someone that actually gave you the time of day to design something around your preferences and lifestyle. How many times have you seen that out there in the market, or how many people have you spoken to in the last 3 to 5 years, or maybe in the last year, that wanted to help you? How many people picked up the phone and actually had a discussion with you to find out about you, your goals, and why you want to achieve what you want to achieve? The next important factor, and I mentioned this previously, is the key to success is sustainability. There's no use in getting to your goals as quickly as possible, trying a ketogenic diet, losing 40 pounds in 4 weeks, but what happens to your body in the following 4 weeks? When you start reintroducing carbohydrates into your lifestyle, you just blow up like a balloon, and more times than not, with these quick fixes, you are left worse off than when you actually started. The last important point is that you are never ever going to sustain something if it's not enjoyable, convenient, and 100% gets you to your goals. All right, so step number 1. You need to clearly define your goals. What exactly is it that you want to achieve? Now, when setting these goals, you need to take what we refer to as SMART goals. Okay, so S stands for they need to be specific. No vague goals. We need to understand exactly and clearly what it is that you want to achieve. They need to be measurable. Again, so no vague goals here. You need to be able to measure them. They need to be achievable. You have to be realistic. And this also goes into understanding a healthy rate of weight loss. If you want to lose 40 pounds in 2 weeks, that's just completely unrealistic. If you want to know what realistic goals are, get in touch with me or DM me and we can discuss that specifically. They need to be realistic. So you need to sit there and be honest with yourself and say, look, is this something that I can achieve, that I can commit to right now in my life to achieve what I want to achieve? And lastly, you need to set a time to the goals that you want to achieve. So I want to go back to the point of understanding what a healthy rate of weight loss is, because some women don't actually know what's possible, and that also throws you off because you can't clearly understand or visualize yourself in 2 or 3 months having achieved these because you don't actually know what a healthy rate of weight loss is. So I'm going to give you that information. Anything between 1 pound and 2 pounds a week is considered a healthy rate of weight loss. You can get more and you might get less, but around 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds is the healthy rate. We have some clients that hit 3 or 4 pounds a week. That's completely up to just how strict you stick to your plans or how effective what you are doing is for your body. But realistically, 1 pound to 2 pounds is a healthy rate of weight loss. Now, the next thing you need to do in this first step is actually sit and imagine yourself in first person view, actually living out the life, having achieved the goals that you want to achieve. Visualization is so, so powerful, and just allow yourself the time. And when you sit and visualize this, it's actually going to help you to clearly define those goals and why it's important to you. Next, allow yourself the permission to achieve these goals. It's important for you to know, understand, and accept that you deserve these things and you can 100% achieve the goals that you set out for yourself. Switch to identity-based goals. It's easier to develop habits based on who you want to become. This is far more powerful than just focusing on what you want to achieve. Okay. Step number 2, understanding the why behind the what. We now know what you want to achieve, but why is this important to you? This is where the real motivation is going to come from, and we need to dig deep here. Take some time and think about what this really means to you and how this will change your life. Why do you want to achieve your goals? Is it that you want more confidence? Is it self-esteem? You want to feel sexy again? You need more energy at work? You need to get back in touch with your body after going through menopause? You have a fear of heart disease or diabetes? You want to live longer for your kids? You want to be a good example to your kids? You need to go deeper here. It's not that, oh, I just want to lose weight and lose 20 pounds because I want to feel better. Why do you want to feel better? It's because you want quality of life. Why do you want quality of life? Keep asking yourself the whys, and then you're going to get down to the actual reason that you need to achieve these goals that you have set out to. Now, when you dial into this and you take the second step, you're going to actually come to terms with where you are, and you need to be brutally honest with yourself to realize the dangers, unhappiness, and missed opportunities currently happening in your life. And this is going to help you to understand why you want to make the changes that you do. Suddenly, the motivation and the determination is awakened in you, and it should be a case of not if, but when. Once you've made a decision and understood that it's not an option to do anything else anymore, you have developed the right mindset to actually take action on what you want to achieve. Step number 3, you need to understand your body's energy requirements. So now we're talking about taking action on nutrition. So understand your body's energy requirements. We need to understand things like RMR and TDEE. RMR refers to your resting metabolic rate. What your resting metabolic rate is how much energy your body needs doing absolutely nothing. So all the energy that your body needs to support things like breathing, things like your heart beating, or anything that does not require you to move. So basically everything that happens in your body to keep you alive is going to be your resting metabolic rate. Now your TDEE refers to your total daily energy expenditure. This is how much energy you need in totality to support all of the functions that you do on a daily basis. So it's your resting metabolic rate plus the amount of calories that you're going to burn walking around, exercising, driving, whatever it is that you need to do on a daily basis. Your total daily energy expenditure takes that into account. Okay. Now, in order for you to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. The simple science is that you have to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. So we need to understand these baselines in terms of your resting metabolic rate and your total daily energy expenditure to understand how much food we need you to be consuming on a daily basis to put you in the right calorie deficit. Now, I say the right calorie deficit because this doesn't mean that if your TDEE is at 2,000 calories, that now you go eat 1,000 calories because now you're in a calorie deficit. Because that is way too low, and what's going to happen is you're not going to have the correct energy to perform your daily tasks that you need to and be effective in those things. So you're going to have brain fog, you're going to be lazy, you're going to be lethargic, and you're just not going to be productive, which is counterproductive to what you're actually doing. Remember, you want to lose weight and you want to feel better about yourself so that you can have a better living standard and fulfill your life in other ways. So you need to support that, and being really extreme with your calorie deficit is just going to be counterproductive to all of that. Okay, so energy requirements is very, very important for you to work out and to understand. There's a bunch of online measurement calculators that you can use that just puts in your weight and your height and your gender, as well as your age, to work out what your baseline is. But it's very, very important to understand that these measurements are using the general population. This is only a general calculation and you are an individual, and we're going to get into in the later steps how you need to measure and remeasure this baseline in accordance to yourself, because what we want to do is work out your caloric sweet spot, which is going to be very different between different people. So we want to work out how many calories you can eat to maximize fat burning, but also the maximum amount that you are feeling full and not hungry all the time, and that you have enough energy to get you through the day. Okay, so that's energy requirements. The next thing we need to do is work out your macros, the amount of proteins, healthy fats, and carbs that you need in your daily diet. And yes, I said carbs because your body needs carbs. Carbs is the body's preferred source of energy, and carbohydrates are used in the brain to keep the brain function healthy. So please do not go and cut carbs from your diets. It's not sustainable and it is not healthy. The next thing we need to do is understand our food preferences. What do you like and what do you dislike? If you do not like broccoli, you do not have to eat broccoli. It's as simple as that. And so many coaches out there take the approach that, oh, well, if these are the goals that you want to achieve, this is the food that you have to achieve. It's absolute BS. We do not need to take the hardest boot camp route to get to your goals. Remember, we are after sustainability. So write down the things that you enjoy and then build a plan around those things. Next important thing in terms of nutrition is understanding your lifestyle. You need to get to a point where you understand the convenience of meals and how they're going to affect your day. When can you eat? When can you prep? What sort of things you have access to at work in terms of a microwave, or do you need to pack things in the morning before going to work? What sort of dinners do you want? Do you maybe want to make extra dinners for leftovers for lunch the next day? So you need to understand your lifestyle and where you can fit meals in and prep to make things as easy as possible for you. You need to prepare. If you don't prepare, you prepare to fail. Okay, the next step is to design your actual daily meal plan to fit your macros, your preferences, and your lifestyle. This is an important step to ensure success. You have to design and you have to put something on paper. It's not enough to just hit your calorie allowances. You need to make sure that you are achieving your macronutrient profile as well, because hitting your macronutrient profile in terms of how many proteins, fats, and carbs you eat in a day is going to contribute to longevity. We are not only concerned with losing weight or putting on muscle. We have to look after our longevity. It doesn't help that in the next 6 or 7 weeks or the next 12 to 16 weeks we get you into shape, but we've absolutely damaged your body because we've taken the most extreme method to get you there. Again, that's counterproductive. And if you're doing this to want to be healthy, to live longer with your kids, then we need to do that in the healthiest way. So micronutrients is also a very, very valuable thing we need to focus on. What sort of vitamins and minerals do you need? You as a female at your age, what is important for females at your age to be having as micronutrients? Because that's going to be very different to males, it's going to be very different to young females, and it's going to be very different to much older females. So again, that's very specific to you, and that's something you have to take into consideration in terms of longevity and keeping your body really, really healthy. Okay, that's step 3. Now, when you dial this stuff in, now you will be prepared and can be rest assured that everything you're putting into your body is supporting your goals, because you've done the hard work, you've done your research on what your body needs, what you require, you've put the plan onto paper, and you've figured out how you can implement this plan into your lifestyle. So you're going to be prepared. Now you can just sit back, eat the food that's on your meal plan, and you will be rest assured that everything you're doing is moving you towards your goals. Now suddenly you don't have that food choice anxiety anymore, because you have food on your plan that you enjoy, that you know what to eat. You don't have to wake up every morning and be like, oh, what am I going to eat to meet my goals, and is this healthy or is that healthy? You've got a plan in front of you. So you can really be rest assured and be confident that everything you're doing is moving you towards your goals. And now you've got more time and energy to focus on the other aspects of your life that need your attention. You're going to feel more energetic because you're nourishing your body correctly, and you will start seeing results, which is the most important thing here. It's going to also help you to keep motivated when you start seeing your results and when you're feeling better, because you're more energetic and you're not grumpy and you're not living this anxious life all the time because you want to move towards achieving your goals, but you're not doing anything to actually get you there. So when you put down a plan, it's going to be a massive game changer to your life. You will be in control of your nutrition. So now you're going to be empowered. You're taking control of your life. That's the first step to being an empowered woman. Remember, in the beginning stages, we said this is what we're going to help you to do. Okay. Step number 4. your workouts. Now, my first rule here is for workouts is make sure that you're going to do things that you actually enjoy. It doesn't help that you put yourself through boot camp because it's not going to be realistic and it's not going to be sustainable. Remember, we want to make long-term changes so that you can sustain the results that you're going to achieve. Therefore, you can't just focus on periodic short-term bursts, because then you're going to get to a certain result and you're going to stop doing that, and then you're just going to fall off the bandwagon again and put all the weight back on. So find something that you enjoy doing. Okay, you need to understand your parameters. So what are these parameters? You need to understand the time limitations, the equipment limitations. Okay, so you need to understand what you have available to work out with before you can start designing a plan. You also need to be realistic with yourself in terms of time management. How many minutes or hours in the day do you actually have to work out? Again, be realistic. If you don't have an hour every day, then don't set aside an hour every day, because again, you're going to be setting yourself up for failure before you've even started. So if you've got 45 minutes, say, all right, I've got 45 minutes, 4 days a week or 5 days a week, and start there. If you can get more into your week, then put more into your week, but start off very realistic and be honest with yourself. What we often do in the beginning stages is we want to reach our goals. So we're like, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to give 2 hours a day for 6 days a week, and I'm going to get to my goals. You're not even going to stick to it for 1 week. And again, this is when the psychology starts kicking in, and now you tell yourself that you can't do it because you set yourself up for failure in the beginning stages by not being realistic with the goals that you've set out for yourself. Very important to slowly build yourself up. Don't set yourself up for failure. Don't go and put yourself through the most vigorous, most challenging workouts from the get-go. Your body's not going to be used to that. And again, you're just going to quit as quickly as you've started. Okay, movement assessments are very, very important. I really urge you to get onto Google and go and Google some movement assessments and record yourself completing these assessments. It's very, very important for you to look after your body. Our bodies are conditioned very differently in accordance to what we do on a daily basis. If you are a woman that sits at a desk for 8 to 10 hours of the day, or even 6 to 8 hours of the day, you're going to have very tight hips and underactive hamstrings. If you're somebody that's on your feet all day, you'll have the opposite. You'll have overactive hamstrings and overactive glute muscles, which is going to give you a tight lower back. It does not make sense for those two very different women to be doing the exact same workout routines, because all you're going to be doing is over-exaggerating those imbalances, which is going to cause injury down the line. So find some movement assessments online. There will be some instructions there on how to assess these movement assessments. So record yourself doing the movements, and from there you can then understand where the imbalances are and what you need to do to realign those imbalances. So you will then find workouts or movements that focus on stretching out any overactive muscles and strengthening any underactive muscles. And that's how you're going to create the strongest foundation in your body in terms of stability, balance, and core strength before responsibly progressing yourself on to the next phases of training. Very important, those movement assessments. The next part is research different combinations of reps and sets and exercises that are going to align with what you want to achieve. There's a lot of ways to burn calories, but if it's not only about burning calories, you need to be more specific and understand the different rep ranges, set ranges, and exercises. There's also a bunch of very smart ways that you can maximize your time constraints. So there's ways of training in 30 to 45 minutes that will maximize your calorie burning effects. And here's a little tip as well. The secret to calorie burning is not on a treadmill or on a bicycle or any other cardio equipment in the gym. You burn a lot more calories doing resistance training, and it's because of a concept known as EPOC, which means that when you are doing high intensity resistance training, your body needs a lot more oxygen during as well as after the workouts. And because your body needs that extra oxygen after your workouts as well, your metabolism is still going. And therefore you're going to burn more calories for longer, not only during your workouts, but after your workouts as well. So a lot of people, and there's a misconception out there that if you want to burn calories and lose weight, you need to be highest heart rate, sweating your body's fluids out and sweating your fat off on the treadmill or on the bicycle. And it's just not enjoyable. There's And to go back to the point I'm making here is you need to be smart with the exercises that you're choosing, especially as a busy woman. You don't have an hour or an hour and a half to go and sit on your bicycle or on your treadmill or any of the other cardio equipment that you're spending many hours doing these workouts on. Okay. The next thing is that you need to make sure that you're getting enough rest. It doesn't help that you go and train 7 days a week and your body is not resting. Rest is just as important as the effort that you're putting in. So very important to get rest to allow your body to recover. And only when your body is recovering are you going to become stronger to do your next workouts and to burn more fat. So recovery is very, very important. You need to make sure that you're using a varied program. So you need to include things like mobility, strength, cardio, and stretching. You can't just do strength or you can't just do cardio. You need to do a mixture of both. And you need to also look after the mobility of your body and make sure that you are stretching as well. Now, again, what happens when you start doing this, you will have direction and understanding that what you are doing is calculated and that you're not just wasting your time and effort by going into the gym and guessing and being like, okay, well, today I feel like doing this, so this is what I'm going to do. That gets boring and you don't have a set plan to follow, which is ultimately just going to lead to failure as well. Again, if you don't plan, you plan to fail. So by doing this research and putting your plan together, and again, waking up on a Monday and you know what you've got to do for the week, that's the type of setup that you need to be doing that is going to ensure the success. Ultimately, you are going to gain confidence in what you are doing and conviction in your execution. You will start feeling stronger and more capable. You will feel the benefits of the workout. So now you're going to be taking advantage of things like the endorphins being released. You're going to have more energy in the day, and you're going to be less out of breath ultimately when playing with your kids, which is what we want, what we are after here. Okay. Step number 5, and this is really the secret sauce here, guys. Okay, it's all secret sauce, but this is really what makes the biggest difference. You need to measure, adjust, redesign, and re-execute. Remember in the beginning stages, I said to you that you can base your energy requirements just on generalization. The problem is that that's just a generalization. It's not your unique body. And sometimes when you design your first plan, you may not hit it 100% perfect or accurate. And this is why measurement and adjustment is so important. So you need to take starting out pictures, measurements, and weight. Very important, you need to have a baseline for where you started. Every single week or every second week, you need to remeasure. So you need to step on the scale and see what your weight fluctuations are. You need to do circumference measurements around your body. So you need to measure your waist, measure your hips, measure your thighs, measure your arms, measure your chest, your shoulders. All those measurements are very, very important and are going to paint the picture. You need to also take pictures. You cannot just stand on a scale, guys. This is another misconception there, and a lot of females are obsessed with the scale, but it does not tell the full picture because of something called body composition change. So if you're doing resistance training, you might be maintaining muscle mass, which we want you to do, and you're losing fat, or you may be putting on a little bit of muscle mass or increasing bone density and bone health, which is going to up the scale a little bit. So the scale might increase a little bit, and you must remember things like bone density and muscle mass weigh a lot more than fat. So you might see an upswing in the scale, but when you look at the pictures and the circumference measurements, you might look smaller and your circumference measurements are lower. And this is when you know that what you're doing is effective. If you look at the scale and the scale's going up, your circumference measurements are going up, and you're bigger in your pictures, then you know what you're doing is not working. And this is when you need to adjust, redesign, and execute. But the important thing here is to make sure that you're doing this regularly. The redesign and the execute. So if you, like I said to you, if you are putting on weight and your pictures are looking better, you know what you need to do is reduce your calorie consumption and maybe increase your exercise output. So you got to burn more calories and eat less calories, because that's how you're going to lose weight. Very important, if you are losing way too much weight during that week, you're just shrinking and you're feeling low on energy and you're lethargic, you are eating too little calories. You might think to yourself, oh my goodness, this is great, I've lost 10 pounds this week. But when you look back at your week, you're like, how did I actually get through this week? Because I wasn't focused, I was walking around like a zombie, and I just didn't have enough energy. Remember, we need to be sustainable and look after longevity. Yes, you may have lost that weight, but it's going to be short-lived because you cannot possibly survive on that little calories for the rest of your life, and you will eventually hit that upswing. And when that happens, it normally happens at double the rate than what you lost it. So be very responsible with when you are adjusting your calories. Redesign, research. If your workout's not working for you, if you're just not getting your movements in, maybe you've allocated too much time, or maybe the movements you're doing are just too complicated. Whatever the case is, at this point you've got to just reevaluate, do some more research, and see what's going to be best for the next step. Again, it's going to take some time to reevaluate, to redesign, to do that research, but you need to do it because now you're checking in with yourself, you're seeing what's worked, what hasn't, and you need to develop that action plan for your next week, or for your next 2 weeks, or your next 3 weeks. I suggest doing things in increments of 3 to 4 weeks, because that gives you a nice amount of time to see how your body is adapting and adjusting to what you've actually put forward as a plan. Very important, establish the new plan and then execute for another 3 to 4 weeks. So then you can assess how the changes that you have made are now moving you towards your goals, or the effects that they are now having on your body. Very, very, very important to measure, adjust, redesign, and re-execute. The other thing we need to take note of here, or take check of, is your mindset. It's not only about the body. You need to make sure that you are giving enough attention to your mental state and your emotional state. Remember, if you're using a very restrictive diet, you're going to be causing yourself a lot of psychological issues that are going to affect you later on in your life. You need to make sure that whatever approach you are doing is healthy, not only for your body, but for your mental state and your emotional state as well. There's a lot of people out there in the world that are relying on you, your kids, your husband, your family. You need to be responsible with your body and make sure that what you are doing is healthy and looking after your longevity. Make sure that you're giving yourself enough time to rest and recover as well. The end goal here is not just weight loss. Again, look after yourself, please, ladies. Healthy mind, healthy body, and vice versa. So that's the 5-step process that I suggest, or that we implement with our clients. And what happens when you're doing this is you start understanding your own body, you start understanding what works for you as an individual, as opposed to any of these copy and paste programs out there. Remember, the whole point of this approach is that you are different as an individual, you are unique, and your needs are very different to other people's, and your body reacts differently to other people. One of the main reasons that you're not getting successful results is because of your busy lifestyle and because of everything else that you've got going on in your life. And this is very important information, or steps to take to really determine what is going to work for you. And once you start understanding this, the anxiety decreases, because now you're putting research into the things that are good for you. You're establishing a plan, so you're not just running around like a headless chicken, guessing all the time that is what you're doing the actual right thing. I'm sure you've got this anxiety when you're in the shops. You don't even know what to buy for groceries anymore. It's like, well, is this healthy? Is that healthy? Or is this the option that I need? Is this fat-free option what I need? I've been there. I understand what it's about. And when you take this approach to things, you just gain so much clarity, and it's going to be stress relieving, and ultimately it's going to lead you to the results that you want to achieve. Okay, so today in the beginning, I promised you that I'm going to give you a 5-step process that's going to get you back in touch with that sexy, empowered, and confident woman that you used to be before life, kids, and COVID happened. And the reason that I'm sharing this information with you guys is because, like I said to you, I'm so passionate about helping people achieve their goals, and I'm somebody myself that hates to struggle. I hate seeing the damage that people are doing to their bodies, not only their bodies, but to their minds, and the psychological effects of all these copy and paste programs out there. All these big companies that are trying to make as much money off of you guys by throwing you into an automated process and just telling you to work out your own things, or try this and try that, and it's the next best thing. And the fitness industry is saturated with these types of things. We need to look through the clutter, and we need to sort through the clutter and gain the understanding and the mindset that the best plan for you is one that is designed for you. And ultimately, that's why I'm sharing this with you, because this is going to give you the information and the step-by-step process that you can take control of your own life and not be reliant on all that rubbish that's out there in the market. Great. So at this point, you do have a choice to make. And I want to now offer you the help that I can give you. Now, I understand that a lot of the stuff that I've told you or taught you right now is probably overwhelming, and you're thinking to yourself, how the heck am I now going to find the time to research and implement and design my own plans and all this and all that? I get it. And ultimately, that's why I'm chatting to you, because I'm a solutions driven person. And what I have to offer you is basically a 12 or a 16-week program that will do everything that I've told you now for you. So it's a done for you, complete coaching system. And the nice thing about this system is not only do we work out everything for you, that you don't have to do any of that and that you don't have to do any of the guesswork, but with myself and the team that I've established, we give you unlimited access to us on a daily basis, and we also do those formal weekly check-ins with you. What this gives you is that accountability partner, somebody that's been through it, they've done it, they've made a success of it, they understand what it's like to go through this process. And that is one of the key ingredients to my coaching approach, is that one-on-one interaction and support that you get throughout the process. Now, just to give you some more detailed information on our approach, like I said, it's either a 12 or a 16-week program. You get a 7-day meal plan with maximum variety on each day so that you're not getting bored with the foods that you're eating. The nice thing about this initial plan is it's also not set in stone. So we will work in 3 to 4 week phases. We'll give you a meal plan for the first 3 or 4 weeks. We'll see how your body is adapting and changing to the types and the quantities of the food that we have you eating. And then we will make an adjustment to your plan for your next phase. And those adjustments are based on your feedback to us. So you'll tell us the foods that you're enjoying, the stuff that you're not enjoying, and we will go back and redesign that plan so that you're not getting bored of the foods that you're eating, that we're constantly keeping things exciting. And more importantly, as your body is going to change with us, your nutrient requirements are going to change. So we need to make sure that we are adjusting the plan accordingly to make sure that you're always moving towards your goals. In terms of the workout routines, we work everything out for you. We establish in the sign-up process what sort of things you enjoy, what your time constraints are, what equipment you have available to work out with, and then we design the best plan for you. We conduct those movement assessments that I was talking to you about. We assess those assessments, and we put in those all-important movements into your program that's aimed at realigning your body and creating that strong foundation in terms of stability, balance, and core strength. Just like your meal plan changes every 4 weeks, your workout plan is also going to change every 4 weeks. So there's also that element of not getting bored, keeping things exciting. But as you're going to lose weight and get stronger, we need to constantly challenge you to make sure that you're always moving towards those goals. We focus very heavily on the mindset coaching element as well. There's so much more that goes into just to reaching your goals than just the nutrition and the workout side of things. The biggest breakthroughs that we've had with our clients is on the emotional and mental state of things. We've had massive breakthroughs with clients that have had eating disorders, that have been depressed, you name it. We've been through it all, and those are the things that I'm most proud of with myself and my team, is those mental and emotional breakthroughs that we have with our clients. The physical changes and wins, those are a given, but for me what really matters most is those psychological wins that we get. You also get unlimited access to myself as well as my coaching staff on a daily basis. So any questions or concerns, we are there for you on the daily in support. And like I said to you, we conduct those weekly check-ins with you. So we go over your pictures, your measurements, and your weights, and we see where we need to tweak the plan to make the most of the efforts that you are putting in. Most importantly to understand about this approach is that we are focused on lifestyle changes as opposed to short-term periodic diet culture. This is not a plan that we want you to follow for 6 to 8 weeks, get your results, and then you go back to your life afterwards. We are only focused with long-term, sustained solutions that are going to make big impacts on your life and not just be short-lived. Right now, the best thing that I can do for you is to extend an invitation to a conversation. A conversation first is very, very important. I cannot promise that I can help you right now without fully submersing myself into what you have going on, your goals, and the reasons for wanting to achieve your goals. I do not believe in just pushing an agenda. It's very important for us to establish a win-win solution here. This is something I'm very, very passionate about in terms of helping people to realize their goals and to achieve those goals. But more importantly, this is a big thing for you. This is a massive part of your life, and you're going to be putting your trust into myself and my team to get you to your goals. I think you owe it to yourself to get on the phone and actually understand and listen to what we have to say and see if there is actually an alignment between what you want to achieve and what we can offer you. It is very important to realize that we are only able to take on 5 new busy moms or women into our program every single month. And I'm just going to be honest with you, the reason that we do this is because of the amount of personal time and attention that we give to each one of our clients, that we just purely cannot sign up an unlimited amount of people, because then we will lose that one-on-one interaction and the effect that has on the success of our program. Okay, so if this is you and you want to take action right now, click on the link below, and what we'll do is you'll fill out a short application form. I'll go over that application form. I'll let you know that it's okay and that we're good to go ahead. We're going to sync our schedules and we'll jump on the call and start off with a conversation and see where it goes. If you like the approach and I think that I can help you, I'll make you an offer, and you can decide if you want to go ahead or not thereafter. At this point, you've got 3 options. The first thing that you can do is obviously just do nothing. This takes 0 risk or 0 faith on your side, but the problem is that you're just going to continue to experience the same results that you always have with 0 to little change. Your second option is that you can take the lessons that I've shared with you today and implement them into your life, and I really, really hope that you do this as a minimum, because you will see massive, massive results. Option 3, book the call below and actually invest the time into exploring the possibilities of working with a group of people that are going to take you seriously as an individual. There is a reason that you have listened to this discussion as far as you have, and there's a reason that you are here. I believe that you are ready to take action, and this is something that you do really want for yourself. So I'm going to challenge you right now, hit the button below, schedule the call with me, and let's start what will be a powerful conversation.